The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by the UMass 5 College Credit Union, dedicated to creating access to financial well-being for local people, businesses, and communities. Insured by NCUA, umass5.coop.
Welcome to the Fabulous 413. I'm Khalees Smith.
And I'm Monty Belmonte. Later in the show, we'll head to the last stop on our Provisions tour with a Wine Thunderdome at their Mill River location in Amherst.
And election season looms ever closer, so we'll have a chat with someone who's no stranger to the process, and who'll run again to keep his senatorial seat in 2026, Senator Ed Markey.
But first, a celebration of my people.
And for all of our taste buds and beyond.
Given that we work, I think, 4 or 5 blocks away from where we are right now, it seems like a shame that we haven't done anything about the Italians of Springfield yet. But that is about to
Just gone to get sandwiches and then come home.
And I used to, when I lived in Northampton, would drive to the south end of Springfield to get sandwiches or to come to La Fiorentina. But you get so busy at work, you forget. Right down the street, there is this gem of a cultural neighborhood, the south end of Springfield, which is Springfield's Little Italy. And it will be celebrated this weekend, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, July 11th, 12th, and 13th, the Our Lady of Mount Carmel Italian Festival. What's your name?
Christopher DeMauro, and thanks so much for coming down, Monty.
Chris, what do you do?
So I am the media relations, public relations individual who chairs all of that stuff for the club, the Sons and Daughters of Italy of Springfield.
Tell me a little bit about the Sons and Daughters of Italy and their history.
So actually, we're a relatively new club. It was formed just about 2 years ago with, I think, 25 members. As of today, I haven't gotten the recent count today, Anna, but I think we're at least 230 members.
Whoa, that's a lot of growth in a short period of time.
We're actually the fastest and largest growing club in the United States for the Sons and Daughters of Italy. It is a nationwide fraternal order. It's an organization that is here to promote Italian culture, Italian heritage, and hopefully reach all age ranges from the youth all the way up.
So what is Our Lady of Mount Carmel's Italian feast all about?
This is where I think, Anna will be able to help us a little bit, but Our Lady of Mount Carmel is a feast that's been happening for 128 years.
My name is Anna Daniele, and I'm the feast president.
The club has a president, and there's a chain of command, but it's actually an interesting tradition. During the feast, the president is elected no matter who they are. They take over the club. Anna is in charge. She's above everybody right now. So we have to listen to her to be able to get the feast produced. And this is all, of course, from our parish, Our Lady of Mount Carmel. And we have a beautiful Madonna that is 120 years old that has been carried through these streets for all of those years, and once again will be carried through those streets in a religious procession after the 10:30 Mass on Sunday the 13th. And we have a 25-piece Italian marching band that follows us, and the Madonna will stop in front of various addresses, and people are able to come and pin money as prayers to the Madonna.
You, Mrs. Anna Daniele, you and the Daniele name looms large in this neighborhood. Mom and Rico's is right down the street, and Rico is a bocce evangelist who I've had on WGBY television in the past. He let Khalees illegally park in the lot so he could come talk to you here at La Fiorentina.
Don't try that move. It took a lot of convincing.
Yeah, you gotta know a guy. But La Fiorentina is also an important cultural icon in the south end of Springfield, and that's your baby, right?
Yeah, my in-laws started 79 years ago, and my husband and I took it over 50 years. My in-laws are gone, and so we keep the tradition alive. This is the 4th generation of La Fiorentina. My in-laws, and including me, immigrated from Italy, from this little town of Brasiliano, province of Salerno. So I've been here 55 years, and I was 15 when I came here. So that tells you how old I am.
I'm not trying to do math on the fly.
And the saint, Anna, it's not the official saint of Bragliano, but it is the saint of Bragliano, correct?
Well, it is. The saint of Brasiliano is San Giovanni Battista, but we also have a chapel of Our Lady of Mount Carmel that we celebrate every year. So when the immigrants came from Italy, they started this society, Our Lady of Mount Carmel Society. And after the society, they started the church. So first the club and then the church.
Interesting. So
Yeah, it doesn't usually work that way.
Yeah, right. But that's what happened. So most of them were from Brasiliano, the immigrant that started the club, but then everybody pinched in, and so over the years we welcomed everybody, not just the Brasilianese people.
everybody, like including non-Italian people?
No, everybody.
Everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
Because I belong to 2 Polish clubs in Turner's Falls.
Okay.
But I am not Polish. I'm Italian.
Oh, wow.
And so I want to be part of an Italian club.
I mean, your last name is Belmonte. You've been working this angle.
My grandmother was a Natalucci. They came over from Benito, from Abruzzo, and I'm definitely Italian-American. I'm not Italian,
Well,
which is a different thing. But
For sure, you got to become a member
we have
of
an
our
application across the street. We'll get you an application.
yes.
Right after this.
This
we're
is like
going
the
to
greatest
walk
day of my
over
life.
And you fill out the application and you become.
Do you get a card, like to card into a club?
As a matter of fact, yes, you do.
God.
Yeah, the club is opening. Our liquor license is just passing. We're about to be open after the feast. Members are going to be able to access the club. We're going to have regular hours, card nights. It's fun, and it's all women. I want to mention that Anna is the first woman in history to be the president of the Feast of Our Lady of Mar Carmel. It's traditionally been a male event. Even the club used to be the Sons of Italy. My great-grandfather Vincenzo Damaro, when he came from Sicily, was a member of the Sons of Italy over here on William Street. So now we are the sons and daughters of Italy. It's 2025. Everybody is equal. Everybody has something to share. Everyone has something to contribute. So for Anna to be our president, the very first ever in history, we couldn't be more proud of her and the work that she's bringing and experience that she brings to our team.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that.
What does it mean to you, Anna, as a woman, to lead this feast?
Well, it means a lot. Our goal is to bring everybody together, families, friends, people of all culture and the surrounding areas. And everybody seems to be very, very excited, and so am I. And that's what it's all about. Not only we honor our Madonna, but we want to bring everybody together, like the way it used to be many years ago. So that's what we're trying to do.
And thanks for bringing up the Madonnas. These feasts across the country, a lot of them have kind of become disattached to the Catholic religion. And that's what this is all about. You cannot detach the Italian festival from the Catholic religion. So for us to bring that back, along with fun things like the grease pole, that doesn't have anything to do with Catholicism, but it has everything to do with it being Italian.
Yes.
So it's
Are
it's
you
for
sure? Honestly, like the Catholic religion and all of its sects have a lot of really weird, nuanced things, and you might be surprised.
No, not at all. It's actually.
Do we know where the grease pole comes from? Because, I mean, people may not be familiar with the Gloucester Festival. They have the grease pole that goes
you gotta go get
over
the
the
flag.
water. And you,
Right, yes, I think we're the only ones, ours, Philadelphia,
Philadelphia.
and
Gloucester.
yeah, Gloucester are the only ones that keep that tradition going. So
Philly and us are the ones who climb. So the tradition, and I actually just learned this from Salvatore Sacosta, our president. The history is in the towns in Italy would find the tallest tree, and for the feast they would cut that tree down, shave it down, and cover it with lard, and put the meat up on the top, and they would climb it to see who would win for bragging rights and for fun. So this tradition lives on, and it's fun to watch. If you haven't seen 10 to 15 people make a human ladder and climb to the top and slide down, it is worth the price of admission.
at least in Gloucester, they fall into the water if they fall.
You're falling on the ground.
Springfield is
and when they
hardcore.
try to climb, their pants are falling off halfway. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
When is the grease pole part of the festival happening?
4 o'clock.
Sunday, 4 o'clock.
You know what you're getting into.
I know. Yeah. If you sign up for that, you know you're in trouble.
What is the significance of Mount Carmel in both the name of the organization and the festival?
Well, it's our, like I said before, it's our tradition that we do the festival in Italy. And so we emigrate here and we brought that tradition back over here. You know, we want to share with everybody what our values are, and being a Christian and a Catholic, so that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? It's family, faith, and country. So this is that's what it is.
What's your take on the first American Pope?
I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Yeah. Not only that, his name is Leo. My husband, his name is Leo, so he was all excited. When they did the Pope, we were in Italy, so we were all excited.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so great.
Yeah.
The day after Black Smoke, Father Paolo Bagattini was at the club, and we were joking because it was my daughter's christening party. He was on the phone, and my mother kind of joked to her friend, she goes, "Oh, what is he on the phone with the Vatican?" He was on the phone with the Vatican talking about what Americans thought of the new Pope. So don't think we're not connected here in Springfield.
To the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
This is the first festival in a while, I'm assuming because of the pandemic and other
little
things.
bit of everything.
How is this one different from how it used to run before?
First of all, we're starting from scratch. If any of our listeners remember the beautiful feast in 1997, the 100-year anniversary, where there were lights all the way down Main Street, giant lions, and just so much resources and authentic things that came from Italy, all of those are gone. The tornado came through and took everything away. And the team from the Sons and Daughters of Italy have got together from many generations. My daughter's 13, Jackson's, I think, 10 years old, all the way up. We have members who are contributing to make this happen. So really, we had to make these poles ourselves. They're 3 2x6s lagged together. Her husband has been out there.
My son, and so is
Elio.
Steve and Sal Costa Sr. They all worked together and made it happen because we couldn't find the poles big enough or small enough to fit in the holes that we have. So they had to create them.
And they're painted in the traditional Italian flag colors.
Anna was out there. I got pictures of Anna. She was out there in her clothes from the bakery. She was getting it in on her break.
What are you using to grease these poles?
We got lard. I think they just saw the photo. They picked up lard. Logan, one of our younger teen members, was holding a couple 5-gallon buckets of lard they picked up.
Nice.
So we're going traditional.
How much lard? You've already said at least 2 5-gallon buckets of lard. How much lard does it take to fully grease the pole? And do you have to re-grease it in the middle of the competition?
So that's a great, that's an excellent question, Cleve. So here's the thing. Number one, it doesn't pay to be the first team. And we don't do it. We don't re-grease the pole. So if you get in the back of the roster, there's your tip for your listeners, Monty.
Pro tip.
We'll get a little more into the grease pole later in the show, but we'll discover more about the connections of faith and immigrant experience that are at the core of Our Lady of Mount Carmel's Italian feast happening this weekend with Anna Daniele and Chris DeMauro.
After which, we'll taste Sancerre for this week's Wine Thunderdome and check in with the longest-serving Democrat as he ramps up for a 2026 re-election campaign, Senator Ed Markey.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
Freezing cold in 1992.
You're the cold maze, say one, freezing cold in 1992. All right.
And we are at La Fiorentina Bakery in the south end of Springfield's Little Italy, talking about the Our Lady of Mount Carmel Italian Festival, which is happening this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Includes that grease pole, includes a lot of great music and other events as well. And we are here with the president of the feast, Mrs. Anna Daniele, the first female president of this feast, which is remarkable. You've seen Springfield's progression over the last 50 years. Tell me about how the Springfield, and particularly the south end of Springfield, has changed in that time.
Well, Springfield has changed like every other place has changed, but we still doing good down here. We have no problem. People come from all over to come and visit La Fiorentina. But, it's changed. Not like before, all the Italians used to live around here.
Right.
Now everybody is in Neguam, East Longomero, Suffield, and, et cetera, et cetera. But there's still a lot of Italian presence down here.
And that's part of what we're trying to bring back. We have a lot of different members, as I had mentioned earlier, young and old. And just starting here, and this is only, yes, what's different about our feast? Well, the old days we used to have it up and down Main Street. Now we're only on Winthrop Street. But you have to start somewhere, Monty, you know, and this is where we're starting. And I know through hard work and dedication and the love of our members, we're going to grow hopefully into that Main Street footprint and then further and further as we continue on. I'm 53, and I remember the great times of the feast. And what Springfield used to be like is what you're kind of mentioning. I think a lot of your listeners probably remember that feeling of fun and family and heritage that used to be here in the South End. And it's here. If you're here on a Sunday morning after church, this place is filled with people. There's life. There's a thriving Italian-American community that we invite you to come and join every week here in the South End. But this party coming up on July 12th and 13th, it's really going to highlight our culture and that we are just dying to share with everyone. There's food here you're not going to find in other restaurants. These are authentic Italian food that only you can find really at the Springfield South End Italian Feast. So we're super excited.
Like what? Tell us what food.
Of course, the fried dough, the zeppoli, sausage, peppers and onions, meatballs, grinder. We have a cerone. It's a macaroni pie. I don't know if you ever had it. And malone, which is a plate from Italy. This is a poor people dish that became very, very famous. As a matter of fact, the restaurants in my hometown, people come from all over to eat this. Malone is like a broccoli wrap, just the outside part, the leaves, and it's boiled in the potatoes and mixed together and fried. And served with hard cornbread. It's delicious.
We had it she made it for us the other night for a meeting. It was unbelievable.
I don't think I've had that one. That
No, I
sounds
haven't
delicious.
either. It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And arancini,
Yeah.
pizza.
Yeah.
Are we doing a pasta as well, I
We
think?
have pasta with the meatballs. We have
I want-
hot dogs, hamburgers,
Yeah,
of
we got
course,
fries.
and French fries.
Italian American.
We have specialty fries there.
Walk them in easy. Get them acclimated.
The tripe is at the end. You did the tripe is the last.
I haven't had tripe since I was a little kid, so
Really?
I would actually
Really?
love to have that.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
not. Yeah, my grandmother used to make that and pig skin and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
good.
pigskin. I made pigskin braciola the other day. We had it with pasta. You want to try some?
Yes, I
We
do.
have a little piece after. I'll let you try it.
You remind me of my grandmother in such a wonderful way. I
Do
love
not
this.
threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, you like that?
Yes.
too? Really? Oh wow, that's
Yes.
great.
Came to the right place.
Yeah, we did. I mean, if you're going to talk to an Italian matriarch, she's going to feed you.
That's what we do. You know, anybody comes over, mangia, and that's what it's.
But that's how you know you're loved. People
Yeah.
feed you.
Yeah.
I do have to ask, is the Mass in Latin?
No, it's
English.
Interestingly enough, as if you've been reading the paper, that's something that's come up quite a bit lately, the return of the Latin Mass. But this is Vatican II. Everybody can hear it. It's for everybody. I'll tell you, come early if you want a seat because the church is packed. It's probably the busiest, besides Christmas, the busiest Mass, I think, at Our Lady of Mare Carmel. And just so everybody knows, even though this is a Brasilianese feast, all Italians, all people are welcome. I know our culture was very secular for many years. There was the Assunta feast, which is coming up next month, and they would have their own, but we want everyone to come together. And we're using Our Lady of we're taking part in Our Lady of Mare Carmel together to kind of come around this, because it is the largest population in Springfield is from Brasiliano, Italy. So, like even our mayor.
Yes. Our mayor, Adamnek Sarno, mother, father came from my hometown, which is Brasiliano again. And there's 5,000 people in Brasiliano, and there's 15,000 Brasilianese in Springfield.
Wow, so you're 3 times Brasiliano in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Do you know what made the people from Brasiliano in Italy want to come here to Springfield? What brought them to this specific spot?
Well, I guess that maybe the first that immigrate here, that's how everybody, comes wherever their paisan are.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
When the Italians first came, as Anna had mentioned, the church came after the society. This was where people came. They didn't speak English. They needed a doctor. They needed to get their kids in school. This is how that happened back then. As a matter of fact, Italians used to go up to the cathedral on State Street to worship. It was mostly an Irish congregation. They didn't let us worship or celebrate on the main floor. We actually had to go to the basement. And that's where the Italians were able to celebrate Mass until they built Our Lady of Mount Carmel. So it's kind of interesting. And if you've ever seen Reel to Reel, that's on Sundays on Channel 22, the altar that they used was actually uncovered from the basement of the cathedral. And it was the original Italian altar from the basement of that church where our ancestors were made to actually worship God. And now, of course, we have the beautiful parish of Our Lady of Mare Carmel with Father White.
You mentioned that you've just gotten a liquor license for your building, so the building itself, too, is coming back to life.
Absolutely. It's almost, I don't want to say under new ownership, but we've got a whole new group of folks who are sharing it with the Mare Carmel Society, and that's the Sons and Daughters of Italy. It's known as Casa Italiana. It's the house for all Italians. We're trying to bring it back with many different events. We have monthly events and dinners that are open to the public, all different types of cultural fun things for children as well. And then we just have parties, too, once in a while. We're really doing a lot of it. She's always cooking. She cooks 24 hours.
We've mentioned it a couple of times, but talk about the importance of incorporating the procession as part of this. Like, why is the procession important?
It's a tradition that after you get out of church, you bring the statue through the neighbors so people can see it and come out and pin the money on it or just say a prayer. That's how it is. It's a tradition.
And it's a beautiful tradition to show pride. There's regalia involved with it, whereas American and Italian flag are going in front of the Madonna. There's a band behind the Madonna. There may or may not be some firecrackers that get let off once in a while as she comes by. But it's all in honor of the Madonna. And the honor of our culture and religion. And I think, again, that's what makes this a really authentic Italian feast. It's not just a fried dough festival, you know, it's actually something that has meaning and tied to something that has great meaning to all of us who are participating. And we're excited to share it with everybody.
Fried dough, like Zeppoli is a little, I feel like it's different than like standard fried dough, the way that you feel about it. If people are imagining like the flat stuff that you get at the state fair or like the town fairs, it's not quite the same.
Zeppoli is to fried dough as gelato is to ice cream.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parallels, but they're not exactly
the same.
No, the zeppoli is almost like the fried dough, but it's cut up in small pieces.
And the texture of the dough is a little bit softer too. Like it's a different texture to the dough itself.
Doesn't get as hard, right?
Just a little bit different, yeah.
We are at La Fiorentina in the south end of Springfield talking about the Our Lady of Mount Carmel Italian Festival that's happening this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We are speaking with Chris DiMauro and Mrs. Anna Danieli, who is the president of the feast for the first time ever, a female president of the feast. And you were talking about coming over here as a kid, as an immigrant, in a culture that didn't speak any English here, and even being persecuted from other immigrant societies like the Irish, even in their own neighborhood. It's 2025, and there's a lot of rhetoric about immigrants and people coming to this country. What's your take as somebody who's gone through that process, Mrs. Danieli, about the role of the immigrant in American culture right now?
Well, I can tell you that when I came, like I said, I was a kid, and we came with the ship, the Raffaella. You know, we got to New York, and as we were going by the Statue of Liberty, I had a feeling that, you know, it's like, where am I going? What's yet to come? What's going to happen? So it's a different feeling. You know, you leave your country and you don't know what's going on next. But let me tell you, I love Italy. I was born in Italy, but America is America and the number one country in the world.
Got any more questions?
No, I just want to eat things.
Yeah. If people have never been to La Fiorentina, what's the first thing that you think that they should get here after being in...
Especially because, like, no shade to the very good work happening in the old Fiorentina space in Northampton, but I miss the Northampton location.
It was nice having that there, because we worked right around the corner from there for a long time.
Yeah,
But what
so
should
many
people
calories.
come to the South End and get what first? Chris, you get to go first.
Studio Del.
Sfogliatelle cannoli, we're very known for our cannoli #1 rum cake. So, but we make our own gelato. Our gelato is just as good as the one in Italy, if not better.
I miss that about the Northampton one.
Hey, it's not that far.
I know.
We work a lot closer now.
20 minutes, you take a ride.
Not even.
Not
Like,
He lives in Springfield now.
Literally, I have no excuse.
And we work, just
I
right
come
down the
down
street.
here and get things. I do. I'm about to get things now.
If you get here early enough, you can get a grappa, an Italian donut. That's my daughter's favorite.
Yeah.
That's so great. Well, thanks for taking the time with us. Congratulations. Am I going to become a son of Italy right now?
Absolutely. We're going to get your application before you leave the neighborhood. You're going to walk out. Yes. And we want to say thank you very much both for coming down. We appreciate New England Public Media. This is really a project of love for all of us, and we can't wait to share it with everybody.
Thank you for coming down.
I got more than I bargained for when I said I wanted to be one of the sons of Italy after that conversation as we were sitting at La Fiorentina enjoying cappuccino with Mrs. Anna Danieli of La Fiorentina and Chris DiMauro of Our Lady of Mount Carmel and of the Sons and Daughters of Italy.
Somebody ran in and said, hey, we need all the hands we can because they're putting up the grease pole. And who says, I'll help, but this person to my right, Mr. Monty Belmonte.
Now, to dispel the rumors, the pole was not greased when we had to lift up
they
this,
only grease the pole after it's already established in the ground.
but we had to put it in the ground, and it is about 30 feet long
Yeah, it is a telephone pole.
and 800 pounds. So there are 10...
The weight of this pole kept changing as they kept doing it.
Yeah, it started at 600 pounds, and then they said it was
Started
800.
at-
Then it went down 1,000
It started
pounds.
at a firm 476.
If it
and
fell on
kept
you,
going up.
you would have been very badly hurt. And 10 of us tried to put this pole up once and failed. And here's some audio from that Khalees took while we were trying to lift this pole.
He's getting himself involved. I got to film this.
That's the pole you're going to climb.
That's
If
awesome.
they get it in there.
All right.
It's going to be very tough because they're not using machines. It's
Woo.
all manpower. That's one heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, watch. Drop.
Get out of there.
Louie, we're going to bring the lift over.
All right. So they brought a lift over, but then we
didn't end up
scrapped that
using
plan,
it
and then
it wouldn't have worked. It wasn't rated for enough weight.
Yeah, so they said, we really got to give it another try. There's 10 of us. We can do this again.
Were there only 10 of you? It seemed like more people showed up to help for the second try.
No, they weren't. There were
Okay.
10. And so we did give it the old Italian college try one last time.
They almost got it. There we go. Keep walking.
Yes. And as the church bells started to chime, we got that 800-pound, 30-foot pole into a 5-foot hole for people to climb this weekend. There's festivities that begin at the festival tonight, more of the religious end of things, but then tomorrow and Sunday in the south end of Springfield, starting at 2, go until 10 or 11, rides and food and delicious things. I feel like I finally ingratiated myself to the Italian community of Springfield. I earned it.
And if you want to see what that looked like, there is definitely video of this
And
online.
there will be video on NEPM social media sites as well.
But that's enough of Monty helping to get half a ton of wood into the ground so that people can climb it. Now to get to the real issues and an impending re-election campaign with Senator Ed Markey.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by Window World of Western Mass, a local family business with experienced craftsmen offering vinyl, composite, and James Hardie siding. WindowWorldOfWesternMA.com.
Hello, Senator.
Great to be on with you.
Thanks for being on with us. We appreciate it.
Yes, we appreciate it. Senator Ed Markey is the junior U.S. Senator from the state of Massachusetts, a seat he's held since 2013, an elder statesman of the Democratic Party. He served 20 terms as the U.S. representative for Massachusetts' 7th Congressional District from 1976 to 2013, and before that was a member of the Massachusetts House of Representatives.
In 2013, after John Kerry was appointed United States Secretary of State, Markey was elected to serve out the remainder of Kerry's Senate term in a 2013 special election. He was elected to a full term in the Senate in 2014. Markey fended off a primary challenge from then Representative Joseph Kennedy III and was re-elected in 2020 by a wide margin.
As you probably know, as a listener of public radio, Markey is a progressive who's focused on climate change and energy policy and chaired the House Select Committee on Energy Independence and Global Warming. He's the Senate author of the Green New Deal, and he is now the longest-serving Democrat in Congress, having served since 1976. Senator Markey is running for re-election in 2026. He'll be the oldest Democrat to do so. He will be 80 years old on Election Day, which, let's get the elephant out of the way in the room, Senator Markey, right away. A question from our listener, Pocky Wieland, local activist and questioner of our U.S. Congressman Jim McGovern on our show every week. She says, is it time for you to retire? He has been a good congressman and a good senator, but what about moving on to share his wisdom as an elder statesman? How do you answer this criticism that you and potentially other Democrats have extended their warranty perhaps a bit too long?
Well, this is the most energized I've ever been. Fighting Donald Trump every single day is absolutely something that gives me an opportunity to not only use my experience, but the energy which I have in order to protect the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, to protect the clean energy, green energy revolution, to be able to protect against hospitals, community health centers, nursing homes from being absolutely eviscerated by Trump policies. So this is the most energized I've ever been. I get up every day. My father drove a truck for the Hood Milk Company, and I grew up in Malden. And this is just bringing out the Malden in me every single day.
You do have the best. You have probably the best Boston accent in the entire Senate.
I know.
That is for sure.
It
I
makes
always
me
want
feel
to
like
call
home.
you Ed Markey, not Ed Markey.
Well, finally, someone would be pronouncing my name correctly. So continue that. Yeah.
Senator, there is a rescission package that is in the Senate's hands right now. Debate on this starts on Tuesday. Apart from U.S. aid across the globe and many cuts that will be pulled back that has already been allocated by Congress, people in this building are particularly interested in the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. What is your take on some of the potential holdouts from the Republican Party, the Susan Collinses of the world, the Murkowskis of the world? Is this rescission package going to pass through the Senate as is starting on Tuesday?
Well, I've been working for months now to protect against these cuts to PBS, to NPR, to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. This is an incredible challenge that Trump is now making personal. He is basically saying that if a Republican votes to continue the funding for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, for NPR, he's personally going to make sure that that congressman or senator cannot win in 2026. So he's putting it all on the line. On the other hand, and nobody knows this better than you, NPR provides an incredible service, providing news and entertainment, emergency alerts. It makes it possible for people to have the local information which they need. And I think that we still have a chance to do it. We wouldn't have programs like the fabulous 413 without public radio. And the same thing is true in Maine. It's true in Alaska. It's true in South Dakota.
Let me interrupt you right there for a second, Senator, because, you know, the Congressman McGovern who joins us every week says he'll hear things from the floor from his Republican colleagues saying, I support public media or I support XYZ. But when it comes to vote, they don't vote that way. What is the likelihood that the Republicans actually do vote the way Donald Trump is twisting their arm to vote and this rescission package goes through sometime next week?
Well, Jim, as usual, has put his finger right on it. They want to say that they're Republicans of conscience, but are they Republicans of courage? That's going to be the test next week when we have this vote on the rescission of funding for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, for NPR, for PBS. And look at PBS, it's the children's television network. When you start at 7 in the morning, all day long until 5 in the afternoon, it's just high-quality children's television programming that's free. And it doesn't make any difference whether the kid is black or white or Asian or Latino. 80% of parents love it. So it's a big decision for them because there'll be a big-time blowback against Republicans if they actually stay together to kill this incredible set of programs that serve everyone, not ideological. It's not Democrat or Republican, liberal or conservative. It's to serve everyone.
Senator Markey, you are running for re-election in 2026. A lot of people in our area want to know what you feel proud about that you've done for the 413 directly, for Western Mass directly, as they're assessing who they'll vote for senator in 2026.
Well, obviously, I've worked very hard with Congressman Neal. He is endorsing me, as is Congressman McGovern.
Yeah, he endorsed you on the show yesterday as the second most powerful congressperson in Western Mass. That's how I built him.
Well, they're both political titans, always ensuring that the voice of Massachusetts is heard. And so, yes, I've worked very hard on West-East Rail. I've worked very hard in order to secure funding, for example, for environmental projects in Springfield. But in communities all across the region, I'm fighting to protect the Job Corps program, which is based in Chicopee. I'm fighting to ensure that we roll back these preposterous cuts, these dangerous cuts, which Trump is hoping now to implement, that would cut Medicaid and, as a result, jeopardize the ability for hospitals in Western Mass to be able to provide the critical services which families need. So across the board, whether it be healthcare, clean energy, jobs, West-East Rail, I partner with the great leaders of West in order to deliver for them. I lead and I deliver for the people in Western Massachusetts.
You're currently the longest serving congressman, and I know that you're going into an election season. Is there a way for you to use that clout that we were talking about earlier that is part of the reason that you're campaigning to be reelected for other candidates who are supporting the things that you have supported in the past, either party, like the Green Deal, like Medicaid, health insurance for all of these platforms, all of these important points that you've supported over the years? Are you able to use some of your knowledge to help them as well?
100%. We now have to ensure that across the Commonwealth and across the country, we now mount a campaign to have a huge blue wave in 2026. Just wipe out the Republicans in the House and Senate who are doing the bidding of Donald Trump, no questions asked. And in my own opinion, we're about to have a wave, and it's going to be based upon a message of wind and solar and Medicare and Medicaid and community health centers, and non-discriminatory policies against the LGBTQ community, and ensuring that Black and brown communities get the funding which they need for education and healthcare. And I believe that message is going to work. And I'm partnering with candidates and incumbents all across the country in order to deliver that message so that we sweep out the majority that the Republicans now have in the House and Senate.
Well, we know your dad drove a milk truck all around the state in Malden there, Senator Markey. We hope that you'll drive that milk truck out to Western Mass, and next time you're in the area, come visit us here at the studio. We'd like to take you out and show you the place and some of the things that we think that you could be working on in Washington, D.C. on behalf of the 413 here. Senator Ed Markey is running.
Ed Markey.
I'm so used to saying Congressman Jim McGovern, but now I'll say
Yes.
Senator Ed Markey running for re-election in 2026. The campaign is already underway. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Fabulous 413 today, Senator.
Thank you, and I'll get my car and I'll try to park it out right near where you guys are.
It makes me feel like home.
Thank you all so much. Great to be with you.
And now to head to France and bring Sancerre to the Wine Thunderdome at Provisions in Amherst.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
My body is a temple and I keep it going on sunrise.
The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by Eastworks, 500,000 square feet dedicated to artists, entrepreneurs, and nonprofits where community happens. Learn more at eastworks.com. The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by Northeast Solar, offering solar options, energy security, and solutions for the local community. Learn more at northeast-solar.com.
This is a first for the Wine Thunderdome, not because it's at Provisions with our friend Benson Hyde, who's one of the purveyors of Provisions, but because it's in Provisions in North Amherst, which is one of the many Provisions places, including Longmeadow, where we go.
Many being three.
Many being three. Used to be four. But the big news about Provisions really is the Northampton location, because that is going to move from Crafts Avenue to Thorns Marketplace.
Well, that was a big decision, mostly because of what is happening with downtown.
The Picture Main Street plan.
The Picture Main Street, and also they're talking about putting a building across the street from our current location, which would remove a bunch of parking and create a lot of fuss on that street. When Crafts Ave isn't open, our store suffers greatly. So we figured a place that has a parking garage would behoove us, especially as Main Street's getting picked apart.
And that could be a long process, and there's a lot of debate about some people really love it, some people really do not like it, but good for Provisions that the cornucopia space is now available, and that's what we're going into.
Exactly, and I think the space is going to be great for us. We're excited to work with the folks at Thorns.
All right, well, we're here in North Amherst, and Benson, you've brought somebody else to taste with us, because Khalees, full disclosure, forgot we were doing the Wine Thunderdome.
Blew us off.
Yeah, it would have been just the two of us deciding between these two wines that enter and one wine that will leave, a la Thunderdome style. So who have you brought with us?
Luckily, we have our store manager, Matt Clegg, here.
Hi, Matt. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
A professional taster.
Is that a requirement to be a Provisions employee?
You have to become one.
I think they do a good job of teaching you the ropes.
So did you have a lot of wine experience before you came here?
I didn't, but they've done a good job educating me. I started working in November of 2020, so it was a very different tasting world.
There was no tasting if
no.
you had COVID or
Yeah.
smelling. What's your favorite wine snob word that you've learned in the last almost 5 years?
Moose is one that comes up regularly.
Yeah. It's not just something that you might hit crossing the highway in New Hampshire.
Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
It's the foam on top of a sparkling wine. But what are we going to taste in the Wine Thunderdome here at Provisions North Amherst today, Benson?
Today we're going to taste some Sancerre, mostly as a precursor to our Tour de France open house, which we are having on Friday, July 18th. Mike Quinlan, previously of Table and Vine, but now works for an importer, is going to be here to help host our VIP session. And these are a couple of the wines that we're going to be tasting in the VIP session. I'll tell you a little bit about them, but if you want to know a lot about them, Mr. Quinlan can do that.
Yeah, the Q, as his new wine moniker on our show is. We tasted with him many times at Table and Vine until that ended. And then he's popped up in several locations, almost even popped up here today. He's going to be the mysterious Q, like Q from Star Trek, where you don't expect him, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here comes Q.
He's back!
but he'll be the Tour de France tasting.
Our Tour de France is a tasting Tour de France, and we will have obviously a ton of wine open. We'll have some cider, some beer, a bunch of cheeses.
That's my kind of Tour de France. Forget about the bike ride. Also add in a little doping,
We'll
I'm
have-
great.
I think we'll have the bike race going on the screen so
cool.
that you can participate however you want.
All right, so Sancerre.
So Sancerre is a small region that is a part of the Loire Valley in France, and it is really well known for its white wine, pretty much exclusively Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc done right, if you ask me.
I know, wine snobs, myself included, love to hate on Sauvignon Blanc when it's from southern climes, when it's a little bit too
aromatic
and too fruity, too pineapple-y, too cat pea like New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs.
That's why Sancerre really is able to produce these wines. It's because of the soil and it's because of the climate. We're lucky enough today to get to dig into the soil a little bit more here.
I like the pun.
Didn't even know I was doing that. We're featuring the wines from Fournier, Domaine Fournier. I think they've had their vineyards in the family since the early 1900s. So they've had some deep experience in the region. Because they've been there long enough, they have vineyard sites that are located in each of these soil types. And they make them as a single expression, so we can then taste them and tell the difference between the two soil types.
Which is really cool and interesting. It's like, you don't want to eat dirt unless you are lacking in some vital nutrition. Heed those calls. Let's drink dirt and drink dirt from Sancerre through these grapes and these wines. So what's the first one?
So the first one we're going to taste, I think, should be the Silex. So we have the Silex soil type.
So like if you're on a whale watch and you start to throw up, you don't have your Silex yet?
Exactly.
It's a queasy, breezy, bob and weave, but I got my sea legs under me.
In which case, if you drink this wine, you have your Silex.
Yeah, then you'll get your Silex. I knew that's how it would work.
What makes Silex special, it's a sort of flinty soil. It captures the heat during the day, so it heats up the grapes during the day, but then it also holds the heat into the night, and so that heat helps the grapes ripen early. So this is an early ripening terroir. And you tend to get a little bit more ripe flavors, but also minerality.
The minerality is the number one thing I get definitely on the nose for sure. We acknowledged before we started here that these were going to be a little too cold. So that is coming through right now too. Don't make your stuff too cold if you actually want to taste it. Exactly. Drink your whites a little warmer than you think you should, and drink your reds a little colder than you think you should. What are you getting on this, Matt?
Like you said, it's a little hard to tell just 'cause it's a bit cold. Really soft fruit that I'm really appreciating. Nice acidity on my tongue.
It has sort of a light citrus.
Grapefruit rind.
Honestly, the most pronounced thing to me is that minerality. I think the first thing you spotted is that sort of like slaty mineral.
It's like licking rocks.
Yep.
One of my favorite words, petrichor, the idea of like when the storm is coming, you can smell the rocks.
Yes.
There's a little bit of that that's coming along with it too. If you love New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, you might hate this because it's much more austere. But to me, Sancerre is so good. It makes me still a believer in Sauvignon Blanc.
And very nuanced, and I think that is partly also the story of the winemaking here, which is a very long, slow fermentation. And I think you get that in this wine. This wine has a real sort of like delicate, pretty, complex character.
Okay, Fournier, the first one, Silex?
Silex.
And that's the name of the soil too?
That's the name of the soil.
Sancerre, there are red grapes in Sancerre as well that aren't as popular, but is it always Pinot Noir?
Always Pinot Noir. If it says Sancerre on the label, it can only be Pinot Noir or Sauvignon Blanc. Wow. I just moved on to sniff the Terre Blanche, and it is way more aromatic. And so Terre Blanche is really known for more power, a little more oomph. Terre Blanche's reason it's called Terre Blanche White Earth is because it is limestone and clay, and when it dries up, it turns white. Hence the name White Earth.
I like it as a soil type, not as an ethos. See, to me, this isn't as aromatic, actually. I'm not getting the flinty thing. I mean, definitely not getting the minerality on it.
To me, it's way more fruit-driven.
I'm being hindered a little bit by the coldness of it, so I'm trying to, I put it, I'm
warming it.
I'm sitting on it like a mother bird. I put it in my armpit or my crotch, try to warm it up a little bit. Put this in the microwave for 10 minutes.
You know, I actually had somebody microwave a wine for me.
And what happened?
Well, you have to be careful because it heats really quickly. And it worked.
So like for how long? Like 10 seconds?
No, like 4 seconds.
That's weird. The wine mother
not too long.
from State Street who taught me everything I know, she also would never have wanted me to say this on the air. Another wine trick. If it's too cold, put it in for 4 seconds in the microwave, I guess.
Yeah.
If it's needs to be decanted, put the cork back in and shake it. Shake it up. Shake it up. This one, you're right. I definitely on the palate, I'm getting more fruit forward, less of the pith of a citrus fruit, more of the actual fruit of the fruit.
Yeah, a little more tropical.
but still not New Zealand level tropical. No cat pee at all in either of these. I have 2 cats.
Cat pee free.
Yeah, 2 cats at my house, and there will be times where I'm like, somebody's got the Sauvignon Blanc on blast down here.
Oh, God.
Tell us more about the Tour de France event that's happening next Friday, the 18th, here at Provisions North Amherst.
You can basically taste your way around France. So we'll have a bunch of the regions covered, and then we will have Mike Quinlan to help us with the VIP, where we're going to dig into some more of the like high-end and nitty-gritty details of French wine. So if you want to taste some fancy stuff, sign up for the VIP.
What do you think is a natural food pairing with most Sancerre, which again is a place, but the white grape of Sancerre is Sauvignon Blanc?
Yeah, classic pairings is definitely seafood, especially with this more mineral-driven, the Silex. I think this Terre Blanche, because it does have a little bit more oomph, could stand up to some more heartier dishes.
Oysters.
And a good summer salad.
Yeah,
This
oh
would
yeah.
crush a summer salad.
Yep. I love Sancerre so much. It is absolutely, without question, the #1 place for me when it comes to Sauvignon Blanc. What's the price range we're looking at here that I'll bleep out, but just for my own self-edification? Because Sancerre can be pretty pricey, that's the thing. Oh, okay. So we're talking, if Ben Franklin got struck by lightning, it was split in half. If we're talking about what Sammy Hagar can't drive, that's about how much money you're gonna pay.
You want to revisit these?
Of course.
Aromatically.
Even though Khalees ditched us, she loves to go back and give it another try, which is always a good thing to do.
It's important. They change too.
And of course,
both of these are opening up and they're warming up.
That's
so.
the big thing, because they're warming up too. These are, I don't know if they're going to be refreshing in the hot weather, but they're certainly going to hit the spot for any of the hot weather food that you're going to endure.
I feel like the Silex is refreshing. Now that this nose is opening up on the Silex, I'm really appreciating it more. But I feel like the finish on the Terre Blanche is just a little bit rounder and more giving.
Too. It's funny because the Terre Blanche, which felt much more fruit forward on the palate before, seems a little bit more of like the pithy type of fruit to me than the Silex.
They're kind of moving in opposite directions.
Yeah, they are. A chiastic structure. Yeah. It's like an X. These are both really good though. I love Sancerre.
I feel like when I drink Sancerre, I'm reminded, oh yeah, that's why this is so expensive.
Yeah.
The nose definitely is opened up though. It's definitely more aromatic.
Definitely more tropical, more base notes.
Okay, it's time to vote in this Wine Thunderdome. Provisions North Amherst, our first time at Provisions North Amherst. Provisions is in Longmeadow. Provisions is currently on Crafts Avenue in Northampton and will shortly, by when, be moving to Thorns?
Hopefully by the end of August, beginning of September.
Wow, that's even sooner than I thought.
Yeah, me too.
Here at Provisions North Amherst, next Friday, the 18th, the Tour de France, featuring our good buddy Q, Michael Quinlan, doing a VIP tasting.
The regular event is open to everybody. It's free. You can come taste cheese, food, beer, wine, cider, spirits.
But we have to vote in the Wine Thunderdome between these two. Fournier, same maker, same producer.
Same winemaking style, just featuring the soil type.
And there's
two soil. Very different.
Yeah, Sancerre, Sauvignon Blanc, the 2 soil types, Silex and Terre Blanche. Anybody ready to vote?
I think so.
What do you got, Benson?
I'm waffling now. I was gonna go with the Silex, but honestly, the finish on the Terre Blanche is starting to win me over.
I think the minerality and the acidity of the Silex makes me want to vote for it, but the Terre Blanche is so delicious and close that this is a very, very hard decision, but I have to choose one. I choose the Silex.
Honestly, I think I'm going to go with the Terre Blanche. It's just a little bit more giving to me right now. I love them both. If I was only allowed to smell it, I would take the Silex, but if I was going to take a bottle home with me tonight, it would be the Terre Blanche.
That means it's up to you, Matt. Your first time here on the Wine Thunderdome. You're going to be the deciding vote. Oh, the pressure.
Pressure's on. I'm going Terre Blanche as well.
Ooh.
I've been defeated by Provisions North Amherst.
Cool. So which one do you think Khalees would have picked?
She would have picked whatever I didn't pick, just to be contrarian.
Yeah, so it would have been 3-1.
So it would have been 3-1, yeah.
I feel like she'd like the Terre Blanche. I think she would have liked that a little bit more, just that it has a little bit more oomph to it.
I think you're right too. But not unlike Lance Armstrong, I'm cheating, and I've been doping this whole time. So I'm living strong with my Silex choice, and we'll ride into the sunset with it. But once again, Tour de France, Provisions, North Amherst, Friday, July 18th. Free and open to the public, but with a VIP tasting with our good buddy Q, Michael Quinlan.
Yeah, and if you want to taste these wines and make your own decision, show up because we'll be featuring them.
But Benson from Provisions was nice enough to give us a take-home test for Khalees.
Yes.
With the Silex and the Terre Blanche, Sancerre, and...
But I didn't get to know which one was which.
Yes, you're
so
blind tasting
I am
them. So I know which one
tasting
is which,
this.
and you have to tell me which one you like the best.
I like the one with the tape better.
So there's two little vials, and they both kind of look the same in color. And then I put tape, but with no words on one, and there's no tape on the other one. And so the one that you have chosen is the one that I chose. Contrary to what I thought you would choose, the Silex, which is the one that
It smells like the ocean. After, like, on second pass, it gets all of this salinity, and I love that. Like, nothing against how silky the first one was, like how much fruit it's got and how forward that is and how unctuous that got. Like, I am a sucker for anything tasting like a beach.
Yeah.
So, like, the fact that it got, like, really cool minerality and it never overpowered and just was, like, this nice bracing acidity with that little bit of salt and a lot of citrus, like pithy citrus, not like rind. I can't, like, that's, like, perfect summer
I got to
drinking.
observe you go through the entire process that I did too, and taste it the first time very minerally, taste it the second time still minerally, but a lot more fruity. And then
Yeah.
I thought maybe she is going to actually vote for the one that I like the best.
Yeah.
Anyway, both of those are available for you to taste in the Tour de France at Provisions North Amherst a week from today. And again, thanks
I
to
technically
Benson.
made it a tie.
Yeah, you made it a tie. Ooh, yeah, maybe there's some left over for Phil Bishop, our engineer. We'll see. All right, well.
I know. And, like, it's exciting. Thanks for letting me share in after I got all of the dates and times wrong.
Yeah, Khalees forgot to show up to the tasting, so that's all right.
It wasn't on purpose. I was having a very bad day.
We brought it home. Next week on the Fabulous 413, our aim is true as we will pull bows with the folks at Mill River Archery.
And check out a new memorial to W.E.B. Du Bois slated to be unveiled in Great Barrington.
We'll head to the woods to read the landscape with author Noah Charney and get blueberries at Maple Corner Farm.
And a literal ton of music with Peter Blanchett, Tracy Grammer, the Freshgrass Institute, and Lucia Dostal.
And Dostal. And we'll top it off with a way you can help your neighbors through pickleball with Habitat for Humanity in West Springfield.
and more.
Yeah.
I think we're going to talk to Keith Lockhart, too. Should be a real good time.
Yes. I'm Monty Belmonte.
I'm Khalees Smith. Have a great weekend, everybody. Go listen to good music, eat some good food.